Hi guys, Justin at Vintage 55 Restorations here. This is just kind of a how-to video. It's probably one of the most common things I get asked, so this is my video to link to when people ask it. It's how to measure for a vintage fridge in your kitchen. So everybody goes, oh, well, my fridge now is, 30 inches wide. Will that fit? Yes and no. It's kind of a little more specialized. So modern refrigerators, when you open them, they swing on a hinge point and just don't get any wider, like kind of like this one right here. So if you look down, this door is the same width as the fridge, and when it swings, it stays in place, and that's because the hinge point is actually right here. On most vintage fridges, your hinge point is external. It's on the outside, like this one. So when you swing it, this door is actually farther out than your body of your fridge is. All of them. Body of your fridge, and it swings out, and it's a good 6 inches wider. So when you go to measure your refrigerator, you get your space, which in this case is 29.5 inches wide, and you measure it of the body. So the hinges and the door are not going to be factored into that. Your body is whatever I said, 29.5 inches wide, and normally your depth is going to be what I say is two cabinet depth to door seal. So your depth is actually going to be from wherever the coils will touch the wall, which in this case is 3 inches past the body, to your door seal, which is 23 inches to right here. And that's standard. 23 to 24 inches was the standard back then. So that's generally what it's going to be. And this is where your cabinet is going to be, where your countertop, where your whatever you have, if you have like a pocket where your appliance goes into, that little divider wall, that fascia wall, will go to here. And if that's the case, then you're cool. Your depth is fine, because what happens is if your counter's right here, that door actually swings around it. It doesn't hit it, because like I said, your seal is going to be at counter depth. So you're good. The only thing you run into problem-wise, which people don't factor in sometimes, is if you have a wall. Not a pocket wall where it ends here, but an actual wall, or a wall that's out here, longer than where it is. And so then you need to, there's nothing for it to rotate around. It just rotates into the wall. And basically what happens is it just smacks it. And so when you factor that in, you have to add, if you really want it there and there's a wall there, you need to add now another 5 inches of depth. So instead of a 29.5 inch space, you need 34.5 inch space, unless the wall's on this side. If the wall's on this side, doesn't matter. If you have a counter on that side, swings around it, wall on this side, it's not going to hit it, you're good. So like I said, you factor in your width of your door if you only if you have a wall. With V handles, back up baby girl. With V handles, you have that on both sides. So if you want to be able to use it, you have to have your clearance on both sides if you have a wall. And also, you have these big old hinges here, big old hinge receivers here. So you actually have to factor those receivers in too, unless you want them sticking out past the counter. But then your counter would be back here. You'd have a lot hanging out. So when you measure this one, I measure it from the end of the hinge to the end of the hinge, which is 32. The body itself is only 30, but 32 is there. And so that's a good way of measuring it. And people go, oh, well, I don't want it sticking out into the kitchen. They're round on purpose. They're meant to stick out, and they're meant to look good. So if you actually put one of these in your kitchen and you put it at the door seal depth to your counter, it looks normal and it looks natural, and it doesn't stick way out into your kitchen and be weird and trip onto it and bump into it and all that. It's normal. So and then height's obviously just height, and you're good to go. But anyway, so that's how you measure for a vintage fridge.